a nation, and the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The story at 11.
I asked my friend, what station is this? He said, it's The Wave.
You don't know what you're missing if you haven't listened to The Wave.
That's all I listen to. That's it.
The Wave, it soothes my nerves, and it makes me a lot more like him. It is the newest, the most different music that I have heard on a radio station ever.
I just love it. I don't know. I really like it a lot. It's great.
Now in Detroit, The Wave, 92.3. Try it.
Working harder to realize the dream of Dr. King. The story tonight at 11.
$25 million in the Michigan lottery. The story at 11.
Tonight, an ABC premiere presentation.
I'm Bill Bonds. The update is next on Channel 7. Thousands of people jamming into Cobo Hall this evening, participating in the holiday honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. And around America, people remembered King's work, his sacrifice, and spoke of the struggle that remains ahead. The full story for you in just a moment. Dayna?
General Motors may be facing a massive recall tonight, and more than 100 people have been killed tonight in 1988's first major plane crash. Bill?
Pistons and Wings, both winners tonight, but there really could be a winner in the state of Michigan. The Lotto jackpot is now about 25 mil and growing. Dayna Eubanks, Bill Bonds, Steve with sports, and Jerry with the weather. The update is next on Channel 7.
Winter in Ontario. It's friendly faces and warm welcomes. Come on up. You can go skiing or go shopping. Catch a fish or catch a play. Relax at a resort. Enjoy a fine meal. Have the time of your life. Ontario.
On the next Kelly and Company. Some women do get better as they get older. We'll learn their secrets on staying young and healthy no matter what their age.
And Shirley Hansel from What's Happening Now will join us.
And then it's time for Phil Donahue.
Whites are racist because they're afraid blacks will become the majority. So says our next guest, a black professional woman, next time.
That's Kelly at 9, Donahue at 10, weekday mornings on 7.
Did you just buy a 5-wager Super Lotto ticket?
Yes.
In that case, I'm giving you this daily 3-game ticket free. You just pick a 3-digit number and you could win $500 tonight.
Thanks.
Yeah, you need any milk or eggs or something?
Hey, everybody's giving daily 3-game tickets free.
Well, I didn't say I was the only one.
Buy a 5-wager Super Lotto ticket for a single drawing and get a $1 daily 3-game ticket free.
Only at McPeak's.
At all locations.
Dr. Martin Luther King, the dream lives on.
It has been almost 20 years since Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. was murdered, assassinated, and this day and tonight, people all over America remember the man. Good evening, everybody. From university campuses to city streets to the little churches and the town hall, people gathered to pray, sing, march, and remember the man and think of his dream. The city of Detroit may have had the biggest rally of all in America. Tonight, more than 12,000 people jammed into Cobo Hall for the Dr. King Memorial. On this, the third national holiday honoring Dr. King's birthday, Detroiters turned out en masse to say that the dream is still very much alive. Hundreds of people were actually turned away from tonight's program at Cobo Hall. Channel 7's Bill Proctor was at Cobo tonight when the celebration got underway.
Happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King, all over the world.
The birthday wishes come from Congressman John Conyers, who spearheaded the effort to make Dr. King's birthday a national holiday soon after his death some 20 years ago. The exuberant Cobo Arena crowd clearly exceeded the anticipated 12,000. Quite possibly 15,000 were in attendance, and they enjoyed this musical celebration. There were speeches, of course, including the sad humor of racism in America in 1988.
I believe that Jimmy the Greek helped us. He helped us turn out here tonight. He brought to everybody's attention that the fight is still on.
Many of the people here feel that more Americans should better understand Dr. King and his beliefs. Think the young people understand the importance of Dr. King?
I absolutely do. I think that young people can appreciate it because they get it from their parents who were there, who lived it and breathed it every day.
They need to read and study more. They need to learn about the days, you know, before King and the days after.
It will be difficult, of course, to duplicate tonight's Martin Luther King birthday celebration, not only the size of the crowd, but its enthusiasm and the belief and hope that we are closer to the dreamer's dream. From Cobo Arena in Detroit, Bill Proctor, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
That was Detroit tonight. Hundreds of others rallied on the University of Michigan campus in Ann Arbor to honor the slain civil rights leader. Students and teachers and alumni marching arm in arm, hand in hand, singing "We Shall Overcome" this day. And this was also a day of protest at the university. Many students boycotting their classes, protesting the alleged racist remarks made by one of the deans of the school at U of M. No incidents reported as a result of the student demonstration today. Dayna?
Thousands gathered to honor the memory of Martin Luther King Jr. at his hometown and final resting place. His widow, Coretta Scott King, was joined by friends as she placed a wreath on her husband's tomb. The solemn quiet gave way to prayer and song. King's son spoke of his father's work and the ongoing struggle for justice and equality.
A long, long way. But we've still got a long, long way to go. When you delivered your I Have a Dream speech, there were only a few hundred black elected officials. But in 1988, today we have nearly 7,000 black elected officials. And so progress has been made.
Detroiter and civil rights pioneer Rosa Parks honored the memory of her fallen friend in a fitting ceremony. She was joined by Philadelphia Mayor Wilson Goode in sounding the Liberty Bell in Dr. King's memory. It was Ms. Parks who helped trigger the civil rights movement when she refused to sit in the back of the bus and refused to give up her seat to a white man on a segregated Montgomery, Alabama bus back in 1955. The rain didn't dampen the spirit of those who marched in Dr. King's memory in Phoenix, Arizona. Thousands used the occasion to protest Governor Evan Meekham's decision to rescind the King holiday last year in Arizona and this year. Meekham has drawn criticism from all areas of the country for racially insensitive statements he has made over the past year. 43 states participate in the national holiday honoring the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. If Martin Luther King was alive today, he certainly would embrace the cause of the homeless. In light of that, a group trying to organize Detroit's homeless used this special day to draw attention to the homeless. And as Channel 7's Dave Gilbert reports, they took over some of Detroit's vacant public housing before taking part in tonight's celebration at Cobo.
They came to the King celebration at Cobo Arena to protest, saying their cause is in the spirit of Martin Luther King. These people, all homeless, are demanding the city open public vacant apartments to them. But once inside the event, they decided against demonstrating here.
Hell no, we won't go.
Earlier, a group of homeless families staged a demonstration by moving into vacant apartments at the Brewster projects. Police finally forced everyone out. Representatives of the National Union for Homeless from Philadelphia helped with this Brewster projects protest and are now organizing Detroit's homeless.
We are saying that no one in this city, and especially women and children, should be homeless in the street while those apartment buildings stay vacant. And we intend to make sure that we start to open up those apartment buildings so people can start to go in them and live.
Most of the people taking part in tonight's protest are staying in this East Side shelter, basically a makeshift shelter in the basement of St. John's Church. Many at this and other shelters are mothers with children or entire families. Although it's better than sleeping in the streets, they say...
It's terrible. It's not a good situation at all.
It's unnecessary for people to have to go through things like this with children.
Is it hard on your kids?
Yes. They can't go to school because I don't have an address.
National Homeless Union organizers say we can expect to hear a lot more from them in the near future. January 29th, a special organizational union convention will be staged in Detroit to bring all of the area's homeless together so they can now fight as one. At Cobo Arena, I'm Dave Gilbert, Channel 7 Action News reporting.
A look now at some of the other stories making news across this Detroit metropolitan area this evening. Police in Richmond are looking for friends of 19-year-old Rodney Dalrick. He was killed Saturday while apparently trying to put together a pipe bomb in a downtown apartment. Authorities want to rule out the possibility that Dalrick was part of a ring that manufactures or makes these kinds of pipe bombs. The Fermi II nuclear power plant is operating at more than 80% of its capacity this evening. Detroit Edison is slowly increasing power at the facility as it gets ready for commercial test runs that could begin later this week. Michelle Esperance is home from the hospital tonight, just 1 week after becoming the first woman to deliver quintuplets conceived through in vitro fertilization. And tonight, doctors at Beaumont Hospital, Royal Oak, say the babies are doing just well. They could be home by late February, and that would be almost 1 month ahead of schedule. Well, if just one person wins, that lucky person is going to be on easy street, being on the receiving end of $1,250,000 a year for the next 20 years can be considered easy street. The Michigan Lottery, Wednesday, at least $25 million. Thousands, tens of thousands of people they've got it, lotto fever. A few days ago, the Ohio jackpot was 32 mil. All day today and tonight, people standing in lines buying their tickets, hoping to become one of Robin Leach's Rich and Famous. I really hope you win. If not you, if it can't be you, how about nobody this time? Jack it up to about 35 mil, and then, Lord, let it be Mrs. Bonds' boy, Billy.
Who desperately needs that money.
Right.
Still ahead tonight on Action News Update. The state of Michigan trying harder to attract the biggest scientific project in the nation. We'll tell you about the new business venture of Jim and Tammy Baker. And the Pistons had to overcome the loss of one of their starting players, but still beat the Denver Nuggets. Those stories and more when Action News Update continues in just a moment.